My first year in France was a nightmare. Nothing stable, no self-realization, nothing really interesting. And after 5 years, it's my dream life. I think I just fixed 5 key aspects, and I truly believe now that if you fix those, you live your happy life abroad in a new country. And if you don't fix them, you're just basically not happy. But before we talk about those 5 things, I would like to take you a little bit back in time. So this is me in 2020, and 2020 was the worst year in my entire life, and it happened in France. Usually when we come to a new country, we have this honeymoon stage when we are just happy about everything around. Like, we meet new people, we see new places, and we're like tourists, we're in love with everything. But the thing is, I was never in love with France, and I came not because I was in love, but I truly love this country, but in a mature way. Also, my previous year in Amsterdam was a lot of fun. I had everything. I had an amazing volunteering program, and I was a videographer over there. I met so many amazing souls, and then bam! I have nothing else anymore. No mates, no events. And in the Netherlands, actually, it was not that strict with the rules. Yeah, we were freer. And I think I will make a video about the Netherlands because it's another story, and it's an amazing story of my volunteering experience. So if you're interested in opportunities abroad, you definitely should subscribe right now because more videos are coming about this. But no, okay. So now you see, that was my 2020, and this is 2025. I wanted to say 2026, and it's great. Again, because a lot of key aspects were kind of fixed. Not 100%, of course, but still. So let's go to them, and I will place them from least important for me to the most important for me. And maybe for you, it's not going to be the same order. Maybe something will help you. So let's go. Place number 5 is, of course, the language of the country you go to. For me, it's French, and I came to France with A2 level, which is not that bad, but it's not great. So I couldn't work in French, and I still cannot work in French. But what really helped me is, first of all, my English speaking job, and I will talk about it a little bit later, and also my own project, because I work online and I do whatever I want in English. In some countries, maybe it will not be even a problem, and you can move maybe to some northern countries without a local language, if you're not going to stay in this country for forever. So, am I confident? Absolutely not. But what made me a little bit more confident is the test. I passed TCF test, and it showed that I have B2 level in speaking, which is pretty high. I kind of don't trust this number and this letter. Also, I don't think this is my level, but when I saw it on paper, I was like, okay, so I feel more confident now with my language. And even I think I got rid a little bit of the language barrier just because I had a real proof that my French is B2. So this is something that might help. Not a lot maybe, but still. I also took some French courses here in France, but yeah, it helps. Actually, it helps because you have the opportunity to talk to French-speaking people, and you feel more and more confident every day. Some courses can be for free, and I found one for free. So maybe if the question is about a language, just look for some free or not free language courses, or just a language body to exchange languages and become more confident. But if you're only going to a new country and you have zero knowledge, maybe a good idea is to come firstly for some French courses, like I did. I did my DUEF program, and my previous video is about that. If you are interested in moving to another country with university language courses, so yeah, I have a video about that. Maybe this step will be even smarter, if you have this fear of not speaking a local language. maybe it's better to start with some courses. Place number 4 is about visas and permits. You won't be confident in a country if you don't know your plan. So right now, for example, you have your visa. It's a student visa. So, but what's next? Yeah. So what's the next visa? What's the next permit? That's what brings the biggest amount of anxiety to people I know living abroad. It's papers, documents. And there are 2 solutions to that. First one is just time. It's just time, babes, and nothing else. Excuse me, you're too loud. All your documents take time, especially in France. It cannot happen like you just come and jump into your citizenship. No. I went through so many stages here in France. So my first visa was a student visa, then I don't know, like another visa, then my first permit for 2 years, then my permit for 10 years, and I have recently applied for my citizenship. Also, I have a video about that, but maybe it's not that interesting for you because it's all in detail. Anyway, it's time. Just breathe in, breathe out. It will take time. But what you need a plan for sure. For example, I come for language courses. So I start with A2, finish with C1, and then I apply for my master's degree in France. I get my master's degree, and then I can have a special visa to look for a job. Voila. And then I have the job, and then I work, and I have a working visa. So what's the plan? When I was living in the Netherlands, it was my number 1 question. What do I do next? I was collecting so many programs for youngsters, for young specialists, workers, whatever, exchange programs, because my plan was to stay somewhere in Europe. And all those collected things I usually have somewhere, like in booklets or website or something. So if you're interested in my personal collection, for sure I will have a link in the description, and you will for sure find something like that. Because I was collecting those things, I don't know how many years, because it's really important that you have a plan, and also plan B, plan C, plan whatever. And I needed to have a plan for COVID in the end of the day. Wow. So all my previous plans, they didn't work, and I went directly to like plan D, but everything works. That's okay. It's just we need to be flexible because we're going to live abroad. In any case, we need to be very, very flexible. Thing number 3. You are moving to a new country, and you already know that you like this country. For example, you are in love with Spain, and you move to Spain, and you think it's the best thing ever. In any case, it might be wrong, because the city or the village also matters a lot. I moved to Angers for my DUEF program, and it was not my city at all. And usually I saw a lot of comments, like if people knew I live in Angers, they were like, oh, it's the city of cows, it's the city of cows. And I'm like, what's wrong with cows? What's wrong with cows? But that's not about cows. It was not my thing, not my landscape, not my life. The solution here was that we started traveling a lot in France, and we met the Alps. Nowadays it doesn't look that impressive because it's spring and it's just not green enough. But believe me, trust me, watch my videos, you will see it's more beautiful than right now. Anyway, if you feel not comfortable in your new country, ask yourself a question. Is it about the country, or is it the landscape, the city, the whatever? Because that matters a lot. Finally, we go to place number 2, which is one of the most important things ever. When you move abroad, you need people. People need people. In my head, it was like, oh no, but I can move alone. I can be a freelancer and just, live my best life and have a blog and whatever. But it doesn't work like this. People need people. Time will pass and you will feel so lonely if you have no one. And it's just always new emotions, just new life in general when you meet people. So where did I meet my people? My amazing people. I met at work, Erasmus programs, like exchange programs. And also I recollected that I have some people already, people from the bus already in Europe. And now I meet them sometimes. So for example, this is the girl. We were best friends when she was 3 and I was 4 years old, somewhere in Northern Asia. Just think about it. People move to new countries. Maybe you have someone now who moved to Europe and you can meet up sometimes, and that's great. Now I'm going to combine a little bit the previous place and this one. Number 1 is your job, your activity, and your income all together. Sometimes, maybe you have some hobbies, but they don't bring money, but at the same time you also need income, and it makes you more confident. And maybe it's just your job that has both. That's a dream life. So how did it happen? I always had my online project, but in France I finally changed it. So I started being an auto-entrepreneur in France, like self-employed person, but officially. So if you ever buy anything from me, I pay taxes from it. I swear. And I'm proud to do that. Yes, this is an amazing activity, but I have also another one. It's my seasonal job. I work in English-speaking camps, and I'm going there very soon. So there will be not that many videos on this channel, but videos are still coming. Please subscribe. Yeah, when I got this job, it gave me everything. My confidence, my money, and it was an English-speaking job. So I proved myself that I can work in this country in English, and that's a part of my diploma. Yeah, that was the best. I think it leveled up my life so much. In 2023, I figured out that I can actually travel within Europe for free. Hey! And I'm going to make a video about that too. So I applied for my first short-term Erasmus project. That what changed the game completely. I cannot say I am fully confident still. Not at all. But I'm trying, But those aspects are very, very important. The quicker you fix them, the better your life is. So, and it's some kind of a checklist. If you are already abroad and you're like, oh no, I want to leave, just check all those 5 things. And if none of them are working for you right now, then step by step, try to fix that. It's possible to leave your very, very happy life abroad. I just wanted to add about my new friends. Actually, I didn't believe that I can have friends, people who don't speak my native language. So I thought it's a lie. It's not possible because our minds are so different, blah, 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 blah. Not at all. It doesn't matter. You just speak one language and you quote the same memes. Because nowadays the world is so united with the social media. You can find your own new world, interesting world abroad, and don't be afraid of that. Yes, I cried a lot, for example, and I screamed into pillows sometimes from being anxious and depressed and whatsoever. But it's gone, and now my life is on another level. It's worth it, 100%.